Hey! You forgot your spare! Come back!
Hey guys, Kevin with Badland Industries. Today we're going to be taking a look at the H3 spare delete plates we make and how to install one. Alright, so the factory tire cover's got to come off, or the one that your dealership or whatever installed for you. Typically they're just cord or elastic and they come right off. Alright, so once you get the cover off, you're going to pull the tire cover hubcap off, and we're going to crack these bolts off. Alright, so that was 3/4 for the lug nuts. We're going to go to a 15 now and take the 4 bolts off of the tire carrier. So sometimes the stud will actually come out with a nut, but we want to get all the studs out. So they are an e-Torx. You can get a socket for that. I'll link that below. But if you don't need the set of e-Torx, you can just take some channel locks and pull the studs out. We'll show you guys that now. Alright, so you take your tire carrier off here. You can keep that, you can throw it away, you can do all sorts of fun stuff with it. I don't really care. Just be legal, be safe. I guess we'll have it off. If you want to run anything bigger than a 35 on the H3, you can actually take the factory tire mount and flip it upside down. What you will have to do is slot out the side of these holes so they fit, because the passenger side is actually taller. They're wider spaced than the driver's side. So if you wanted to do this, you can flip it over. It mounts the tire higher and you can run a 37-inch tire on the factory mount. But we're not doing that. We're taking the spare tire off and putting the delete plate on. Alright, so like I said, take your channel locks, be gentle with it all. Grab the head here, and you'll be able to slowly, gently pop these studs out. Alright, so if you guys want to take these off with the proper tool, this Lexavon kit will be in the description. It's got all sorts of e-Torx. I think it was like 25 or 26 bucks. Pretty killer deal. But it makes really simple work of these studs. You could put this socket on a little impact gun and really blast these out real quick, but we're just going to make you guys sit here and watch this. Watch me struggle. I'm kidding. On to the next step. Not even going to bother putting a link for this down in the description. But when I clean this up, get all the dust and dirt and grime and stuff, because it's under the spare tire mount, it's not something people tend to clean. Even in a professional car wash detailing setting, just not something people clean. So we're going to take the time right now and do it proper. And by proper, I mean just smearing the dirt around so that you can not see it once we put the plate on. Why would you want to take your spare tire off your off-road H3? A couple reasons being weight savings. That spare tire is about 100 pounds plus the mount. The spare tire deletes maybe a pound or two. it'll get in the way of like your load baskets, the ones that kind of hitch mount, or like a bike rack. Gets in the way of that. A lot of guys will put the spare inside. There's enough room back there. You might obscure the rear view camera a little bit, or the rear view mirror, but if you put a camera on, you'll probably be fine. Some guys put it on top. They move the load bars back, or get like a goby rack or some other roof rack option. Put the spare tire up there. I guess the most, I guess for me, would be the cost. If you're gonna put 35s or bigger with some nice rims on there, an extra tire and rim is gonna cost you $300 to $500 depending on what you get. So that's a significant cost over the spare delete plates that are about less than $100. All right, so as far as options go, you can get the raised H3 style. We don't paint them. We did for the sake of the video, and I've done it in the past. It's a pain. I don't like how some of these turned out, and I felt bad for shipping them out, but the guys loved them, so I've chosen to give you guys the option of getting them assembled or unassembled. Basically, if you get it unassembled, and that's the option you're going to want to get if you want to paint this or powder coat it or what have you. We've had guys bed liner these. We've had vinyl stickers put on. Super cool. The Duramax H3, I'll link his channel below, down in Florida. Super cool build. He's got a custom vinyl stencil we did for him a year or so ago. But the H3 embossed one, it actually sticks out a little bit, so it kind of looks cool. This one we body matched to the fine silver birch. Another option we have is the Punisher. A lot of guys like the Punisher head. This is another one where you can get it unassembled or assembled. Punisher, 4 pop rivets. If you don't have a pop rivet gun, Harbor Freight or Amazon, it's like $10. I'll put a link to 2 different types of one, the hand style one and the drill one that I use. So if you want to save a little bit of money, you can get the etched H3. This one is a sandblast etch of the H3 logo. It's a little bit cheaper than the raised one because it doesn't cost me to cut out those letters, but you still get the logo on the back of the truck. Looks kind of cool. For those patriotic, I know that's kind of a waning character trait nowadays, but we've got the American flag one. This one's kind of cool because it's etched and cut through. So I have the stars cut through, but then I've etched the stripes into it. We don't offer this one in the opportunity to get unassembled or assembled because it's one-dimensional. There's no extra pieces. If you wanted to paint this, it would probably look okay with the etch, but I would say you're probably gonna want to figure out a way of getting this cut out of vinyl or something like that for either a stencil or for a vinyl applique. I can send you the file if you wanted to cut that out of vinyl. So another option we have is a little bit more functional than just your standard H3 or flag or Punisher or whatever. This one actually has a cutout for a flush LED pod. Anything off Amazon, super cheap. These will fit on here. And now you have an extra backup light on the back of your H3. Kind of a cool idea. Alright, so for the blank plate or any of the other ones, our logo is in the bottom right corner. That has the side with the wider spacing on the bolts, so that you can mount it properly if you get the blank one, plus the words aren't legible at that point. So what you're going to do is take the supplied stainless hardware and put your spacers through and set it in place, and just ever so gently get them started. Take your other bolts here, set them through. Oop, lost that guy. Set them through and just barely get it started. Now you can take an Allen key, or you can take your impact like I'm going to do here. Well, a half a hugga-dugga, that's all it takes. Just enough to get that tight. I recommend using Loctite. You don't have to, because the residual Loctite that's in there would probably keep them in there, plus the amount of force that it took to get them on there. But now it's nice and solid. And step back and admire your work. Alright, there you go, guys. H3 Spirit Elite installed. 15-20 minutes. Not gonna take you that long. If you want to have a spare tire on the back of your truck when you're off-roading, but you want it looking fresh in town, 4 bolts, comes right off. I would recommend using the e-Torx that I linked down below to get the studs out and back in. I don't recommend you guys using the channel lock method if you want to reuse those studs. But if you guys have any questions, shoot us a message, badlandindustries.com. We've got a chat feature, an email, and text. So any way you want to get a hold of us, you can do that. If you have any questions on some custom designs, we've done like a Darth Vader one a while back. That was pretty fun. I think we did a Deadpool laser etch a couple years ago, and that was a little bit cheaper. Unfortunately, that price is way stupid high nowadays. The LED will require some internal modification for clearance depending on the light you get. So just keep that in mind, that you might have to either move the jack or cut some of the metal in there. So just be mindful of that. I had a bunch of guys get those in the past, and they look good, and they like the extra light out back. But it does require a little bit more modification than 4 volts. So with that, that's the end of the video. Please like and subscribe to the channel. We're growing every day. I really appreciate all the support that you guys have been giving the channel. Shooting for 1,000 by the end of the year. We got 3 months. We've already done 500 this year, so I think we get to 1,000 so far. Appreciate it, guys.